Hi, here's the next installment of Fun with Rocks. Today we're going to look at opals, one of my favorite things. There are a lot of different opals, and as I was researching for this video, I learned a lot, and I found out a lot of different things I didn't know before. We're going to start with the common opal. Now you can see the opalescence. The common opal doesn't have a lot of fire and flash to it. You can see it right in there. If we look at the chips of the opal, if you're able to move these around, you'd see that some of them have flash, but a lot of them, it's very, very minor. Within the common opal, we have a lot of different colors. The blue opal, this one specifically, is known as the Oahe opal. It's mined from a specific region. Gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. These are also forms of blue opal. Common opal also moves into a greenish color. And you can tell the opal kind of, they've got a jelly-like presentation. There's a yellow one. Another yellow one. Quite beautiful. Pink opal is one of my personal favorites. As you can see, I don't have all my pieces here. This is opal, also opal. A lot of times we think opal and right away we think fancy opal. This is a polished white opal, the common sort. And this is a dendritic opal. Now, a lot of these can also be called moss opal, but it's the formation that makes them so unique. But they are still a common opal. When we get into the fancier opals, we can see the flash in them. Now, these opals have been set in water. I've owned this for many, many, many years. And so they were sold as specimens, and I just thought they were really cool. Some of the fancier opals, fire opal, doesn't have a lot of flash. I don't know if you can really see there, but this one's quite an amazing piece. And this also is a piece of fire opal that was gifted to me. And you can see the play on it. It almost looks resinous, but it is real. It is not plastic. Fascinating. There are synthetic opals out there, so make sure you're aware of that. A synthetic opal won't have the same flash. These are the ones that most of us are used to seeing, or were used to seeing for many, many years. The Australian type opals, sorry. They've got the blue flash to them. And this one has a lot of fire. This one was also gifted to me. This one's got the red in it as well. A lot of these are backed. And these are the ones most of us are used to seeing. Not as much fire and flash, but still some color change in there. I don't have any more just white ones. I used to own one a long time ago, but don't have that in my collection now. These are opals that fluoresce. These are Mexican purple opals. These are more of the common opal once again. And we can also look at the Tiffany stone, which I'll look at later, which is opal and fluorite together. So I will look at that at another time. When we start to get into opals that have formed within things, we are looking at opalized wood. It's quite fascinating. I don't know if we can get a really good zoom in on that. But this one, it's got a lot of fire and flash to it in the little bits, but again, hard to see even in daylight. But it is there. When we look at opals forming in the sediment, they form such amazing colors. This one is something else. The depth in it is quite amazing. And then we have other examples. And the Boulder opal, of course, is something that is favorited by many, many people like myself. The opal forms within the rock, layered right in. Just absolutely stunning. And we can see the back there. And the stone. This one is quite deep. It looks like you can gaze right into it. Just a stunning specimen of Boulder opal. Stunning. We also have in fancy opals what's called Ethiopian opal. Now the Ethiopian opal, which is up here, has quite amazing play on color. What I've recently learned about the Ethiopian opal is when given too much moisture, just in your home even, they turn yellow and brown. Now this is a pair I actually bought mismatched because one is actually black and one is actually white. And you can see the play on color in both Ethiopian opals. Now you can see how this one's gaining that yellow color. I took my other Ethiopian opals off the table because they have all gone yellow. And I researched and learned that that is due to moisture. So if you own Ethiopian opal jewelry, these are ones I picked up when I went to Ethiopia. That was way back in 2013, before these actually were well known on the market. Absolutely gorgeous color play. Absolutely amazing. They've also come out with the blue Owello Ethiopian opal. And this is my little tiny specimen of that. You can see the color play. These are not dyed. These are natural. All of the opals I'm showing you today are natural opals that have been, of course, polished. And then jewelry pieces. This one, you may or may not be able to see the color flash. Very light color flash of opal in there. A very old hamsa hand with a centerpiece opal. More of a common fancy variety we see often around. Then my piece de resistance. This amazing piece I picked up from an estate sale. And there is every color of opal in this piece. It is the most stunning and amazing piece I've personally ever seen. We have to remember that opals are a very soft stone. They do not wear well. They used to be extremely unique, worn by royalty and rare. Now they are more common, easier to get our hands on. Some of the most beautiful opals come out of Australia. And like I said before, we have to be very careful with our Ethiopian opals because they absorb moisture, turning brown, and we can't get them back. So we want to keep them in a hot, dry place. I'm in Saskatchewan, so the climate tends to be humid here, believe it or not. And even though mine were stored in a dark place, they still turned yellow and brown, to my dismay. I'm trying to bring them back, but it's very hard to say if they will. Thank you for enjoying this next installment of Fun with Rocks on opals. Oh, and I forgot this. The black opal. I actually purchased this when I was working on the cruise ship. And this little beautiful piece has been with me as I hitchhiked home from the States. And that was 30 years ago. And that is amazing. And with that, I end this installment. Take care until soon.